The Washington Post killed the story. Now, the Washington Post didn't say they thought the story was untrue. They said there was no corroborating evidence. And we know the Washington Post has a very strict policy of never publishing accusations by women without corroboration if the person being accused is a Democrat. That's their journalistic integrity rests on that. I mean, just remember, go back in time. I know it's a long time. Many of you were only a few months younger then and can't remember so far back. But remember that incredible assault on the reputation of Brett Kavanaugh when story after story after story came out saying we must believe all women. The New York Times must have run 3 pieces, if not more, of women saying, well, I was attacked and therefore Brett Kavanaugh was guilty. That was the line. This happened to me, therefore Brett Kavanaugh was guilty. And, why isn't that happening now? Surely other women have been assaulted. Why aren't we believing the woman who accused Justin Fairfax? Why didn't the Washington Post run with that story? Democrat. That's why. That's the whole answer. Because he's a Democrat. They didn't want to hurt a Democrat. They never do it to a Democrat. That's why. And so for the Washington Post to come out and take out that story, standing on dead journalists, standing on the reputation of journalists who lost their lives, and say, oh, look at us, we're the Washington Post, democracy dies in darkness, democracy dies in phoniness and self-regard. I mean, they are just complete phonies. The silence is a one-edged sword. It is meant to silence people who believe that the individual, no matter who he is, should be allowed to speak, allowed to live, allowed to think for himself, even when things get ugly, even when he does things that even I would disapprove of. He should be allowed to speak, and that is who they use the silence for. And by the way, it's funny. When I started out to be a mystery writer. I wrote a series of pseudonymous mysteries, the John Wells mysteries. They were nominated for the Edgar twice. One of them won for the Edgar, a book called The Rain. You can still get them. They're still online on Amazon. The reporter was a hero. He was my hero. I used reporters as heroes because I had been a reporter and because they kind of spoke to me about what I was doing, the idea of searching for the truth and all that. And then one day I consciously stopped. I thought, true crime has a reporter as hero, although he's the reporter that everybody hates because he's politically incorrect. But still, there came a point when I said, I will not use reporters as heroes anymore because they're dishonest, because they're all on one side, because they will not report a story that hurts the Democrats. They will not report a story that is left-wing. And, it's a little unfair to accuse the reporters, the guys in the street, because a lot of them would report anything. A lot of reporters are just kind of natural animals going after the powerful. It's the people in charge. It's the people at the editorial level and the people at the management level who are silencing those reporters. In the old days, those reporters would quit, but now there's nowhere for them to go, so they don't quit. They are being taught the lesson of silence. This is the lesson that the deplatformers, that the social justice mobs, that all of these people are trying to teach us, the people who take Kevin Hart off the Oscars. They're all trying to teach us the lesson of silence in which, in that silence, they will get the power. That is the idea.